All right, testing again. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Where are we in the world? Let me know where you are joining us live from as you are coming in. Again. Hello, everyone. Are we showing up where I want to show up? All right, Facebook, where are we? Are we showing up? I did click live. Okay. So we love technology. All right, testing again. Hello, everyone. Welcome. All right, there we go on Facebook. All right, if you are joining me live on Facebook, it's a little dark. Let me know where you are joining us live from as you are coming in again. I hear a lot of feedback from my end, so showing up where I want to show up. Go ahead and close that. All right, so I know like when you do a regular live show, they just come right on in, right? But I thank you all so much for joining me today. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Vernita Glenn White, go by Dr. V, and I am your brilliant solutionist. And for the Remarkable Live Show series, it is all about helping brilliant and ambitious people get the results that they want in their life. So this is where your brilliance and ambition meets your action and your results. And then in order for you to get to the next level, whether that's in any area of your life, your career, your business, etc., it all starts with making one remarkable shift at a time. So today we are talking about mastering your routine, especially in the morning for high achievers, high performers, and the like. So the reason why I focus on high performers and high achievers is because I believe that a lot of us get to a certain level, we grind so hard, academically, professionally, socially, and then we get hit a plateau, and then it's like, okay, what's next? We're capable of doing more, and when people look at us, it looks like we are just rocking it out, but we know deep down inside that we can go to another level. So I am here to push all of my brilliant people, all of my ambitious people to the next level with practical application, practical tips that you can do every day. And so, since we're still in the beginning of a new year, I want you to listen through the lens of any goal that you may have set or any intention that you may have set through um, at, since the beginning of the year. So, I want you to think about that. What goal do you have? And the reason why this is important is because, and I've said this before, I believe that so many of us listen to so many things. You're like, oh, that's good. I want to try that. Or that tip, that strategy. Oh, that's great. I want to do that. And then you try all the things and you're still not getting the results. And that's because you're not filtering the information through the lens of your vision, your goal, and then you're not taking action as it relates to your vision or your goal. A lot of you are still busy doing all the things. I know I can find myself in busy energy too, but this is how I know this is how I know that you are capable of doing more when you are more focused on an actual vision and a goal. I had a intensive client, so like a VIP client, but we had an intensive, and you'll hear more about that as we go on. So he came to me and he said, well, this is what I want to do. He had a big vision of what he want to accomplish. And I said, okay, great. What is one thing that you want to get done towards that vision, in this amount of time? He told me one was about building a curriculum or framework for training his staff, and then eventually taking that method on and making a business out of it. And so I was like, okay, so let's focus. I took what he did and then I took him through a process so he can essentially brain dump, right? A lot of you are so brilliant, you have a lot in your mind. You just need someone to pull it out, put it on paper, put it in a systematized way and deliver it back to you. And I am really good at doing that. So I listened to him. I asked him questions to, pull things out of him and really just exposing him to, the brilliance that was in his mind. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and structure this for you. And then I do that because he was a VIP level client. And then so I knocked it out, no problem. And it didn't take me long to knock it out because I was laser focused and wanted to make sure that I can serve that client at the highest level possible in a short amount of time. Now, if I'm doing something and I said, okay, I can, maybe go do, create this email sequence, or I can go create this over here, or maybe I can go work on my keynote talk. If there's no sense of urgency, then those things are just going to just float around, right? So I got up this morning, and that after I did all of the things for me, like my devotional and take care of the things that I need to do, I went into work mode and did the work during my kind of morning window. I have a priority focus time. And then I was like, you know what? I want to put my client's needs first because he needed this done ASAP. So I said, okay, I have this block of time, this window. Let me go ahead and do it. And I finished everything in that window a little bit from last night and finished it from this morning. So this is where I talk about mastering your morning routines. And this is beyond just talking about, oh, I have a productivity hack, and this is what I do, because I'm obsessed with morning routines. Like, I go find everybody online, I go watch them, I read about them. Every time my Google feed comes across, like, this is how such and such spends their morning, I go read them, right? And then you'll start noticing a trend. They're all kind of pretty much the same. And so I used to talk about when I had my VIP coaching clients that were in the container, where we actually coach them, where I actually coach them, not just consulting, but coach them through, their life kind of life plan. Then I did emphasize, like, have your routines and your habit stackers and all of that in place. Now, the twist to that is, once you've established kind of a routine for you to get up, in order for you to go to your next level as it relates to your goals and your vision, you have to start putting those things that you need to do inside of that morning routine. So, and this is just Dr. V saying, you can do what works for you, but this is beyond, I get up in the morning, I journal, I pray, I stretch, I just sit quiet and sit still. Those things are important. But then to get into action, to get those results, now you're going to have to start executing in your morning routine. Now, I say morning because I'm a morning person, but this could very well be your evening. However you start, like, when your brain is at optimal capacity, when you have that block of time where it's just silent. So some of you, it may be in the wee hours of the night. So don't get so hung up on the morning. I'm not telling you to get up at 3 and 4 a.m. I mean, I do, but I'm not telling you to do that, right? Because that may not work for you. But everyone has a quote unquote block of time where they can master that block of time and create a routine to get their max performance. You've done it before. You did it when you were in college. If you went to college, you did it when you had to, do a presentation for your job, for that promotion. So you were able to do this, but now we're making it a habit. So we're not always in crisis mode to get things done. All right. So what I want to talk to you about is really, it is about how you start your day. So even if you can't block out time to really execute, you still need to prime your mind for your day as it relates to your goals. Not just, I wake up and I'm grateful, and then I just go on about my day. You have to add another layer to that, because this is all about making those remarkable shifts so you can get those results. Time out for us just getting up, like the status quo, doing, what we normally do. And then we wonder why. Well, how come I haven't reached that goal? Whether it is in your weight journey, I should say fitness, because some people want to gain weight while other people want to, release weight. So I'll just say your fitness, you may want to tone up or whatever, building a better relationship with your family, your friends, your spouse, writing a book, starting a business, elevating in your career, finding different career paths for you to do, taking that, creativity class, whatever it is. you have to start building that and visualizing that in your day. So one part of I'm gonna talk to you about this acronym. And before I get into this acronym, I want you to think about this. And this is when we talk about elite performers and high achievers, because if you're listening live on the replay, I'm talking to you. So Michael Phelps, if you know him, best, greatest all-time swimmer, best swimmer of all times, greatest of all times swimmer. He says that every morning when he would go practice, he would visualize himself in the pool doing the laps, all of that muscle memory. It started in his mind, and he would see himself finishing, and winning over and over and over. And that's the power of our mind. And you get so in tune in your body. I like to say, be in tune with your star player. You get so in tune that what you're doing in your mind, it starts to feel real, and you'll start reacting that way. And then it's almost like muscle memory, and then things will start coming to fruition. So this isn't like, oh, I just manifested and it dropped out of the sky. It's like you truly get your belief behind what you want to accomplish, and then your body starts saying, and your mind starts saying, like your heart and mind start connecting, like, oh wait, they've already done this. So let's go ahead and make it happen in the natural, because there's a spiritual world and there's a natural world. You don't have to get too woo-woo. So if you're like, what? It's, conscious and subconscious, right? When they're in alignment and you truly believe in what you are going after, it can't help but to happen. So in the mornings, after you do, let's say you do have a great morning routine down for yourself, go ahead and now start thinking about your goals. I still believe, because I still believe that research about only 8% of people actually accomplish their goals, because they look at them sometimes daily, but weekly for sure. And they sit with it, and then they get their belief behind it, and they let it go through their bodies. It becomes embodied with them. Now, you might be thinking like this is like new stuff, like woo-woo stuff, but you've done this before. Like I said, if it was going to college, everyone knew back in the day. We can't talk about it now. But you go to college and you get a good job, great job, however you want to describe it. But it was always ingrained in us. You go to school, you get your grades, you get your degree, and you get a job. It was like automatic. And every day you woke up with that belief. I'm going to go to class, get this degree so I can get a job. Or I go, even if it's finishing high school, I go into my career. I'm not going to stay at this level. I'm going to go get promoted. I'm going to go up the ladder. So it was always in you to do that. But then once you reach that, a lot of us just either stop dreaming and believing, or we don't set anything high enough. We don't have any of those stretch goals and things anymore. So it's kind of like, well, the inspiration, the motivation isn't there for us to constantly go after. So you really do have to go revisit your goals and sit with them and start visualizing them in the morning, just like Michael Phelps did before every single swim. Even practice. That's the thing. A lot of times, and I've done this myself, I've got this from clients, is like you visualize the end goal, and that is great. We do want to accomplish, but now we have to start visualizing, what are we doing every day? What are those key indicators that I am accomplishing every day? What are those tasks that I'm accomplishing that are towards my goal, not just a busy to-do list? What are those things that are truly moving the needle? What are those tiny shifts that I need to make? Like visualizing yourself doing that. Same here. I've committed to do a weekly live show. And so I go through and say, okay, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to show up? Let me run through the things and the topics, in my head and things like that, and prepare myself mentally. What do I want, you all to get from this episode? How do I want to connect with you? Is there a way that I can serve you after the episode? Which I can. So all of those things I'm looking at, like, okay, how can I do this today? What is it going to feel like? What do I want them to accomplish? And then moving forward, and then, the next step and things like that, because of it all relates to my bigger goal, and it all relates to my vision. So the acronym I want you to write down, or the framework, I didn't create this. I like to gather different things, and I don't even know who did it. So if you know who did it, comment down below, but I'm just telling you, it's not mine. I like to gather different things, because if you're not working directly with me, I still want you to get some strategies that could potentially work for you. So there's not a one size fits all. You're going to hear different things. You say, you know what, I can use that. But I do like frameworks because I believe if you work a framework consistently, whatever it is, for the most part, it will work. So the framework is the peak formula. And again, it's not mine, but it is called the peak formula. And it stands for prepare, energize, align, and kickstart. So we're going to go through those very quickly. So what is prepare? Prepare means about your mental state. That is where I love to focus on. It is mindset, but it's really how you set your mind, how you set your intentions so that you can stay focused and grounded to get the results that you desire. How do you work through that mental chatter, that noise in your head? It's like building your mental wealth for you to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And so you can have all the strategies and tactics in the world, but if this is not up here, if it's not going so well up here, it is not going to get accomplished, right? So, of course, we say we start your day with your intention, and so this is not about. Some people say don't grab your phone first in the morning and things like that. I agree to a certain point. Know yourself, but I do believe like as soon as you get up, for me, you thank God because if you open your eyes, you're like, okay, I got another chance to start this off. Thank you for, allowing me this opportunity, right? And then say, okay, what does it look like for me to give God glory based on what He's allowed me to? He allowed me to see another day. How am I going to give Him glory? How am I going to worship Him through what I'm supposed to do today for His people? Point blank, period. And I found myself having to get back into that because I would go back and I would do some prayer, but then I would realize like, I'm just going to tell God all my problems and what I want, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's not what we're here for. We're here because we have a greater vision. And if we truly believe that, He's going to take care of us, then our focus should be on how do we lead, love, and serve others, because He'll take care of us and, He'll send what we need our way as long as we focus outwardly. So preparing your mind, I believe that is the way that you get to those next level, get to that next level is like, what can I do right now? How am I preparing my mind to serve other people, right? And so you do create a plan, your top 3 priorities. And let's get real. Like if you still want some help and support with this, just like I did with my client, we booked an intensive. You can comment peak down below. So an intensive is just a short amount of time. This is not a 6-month package, a 3-month package, a year-long program. It's not a full VIP day, but it is a short amount of time where we are laser focused on what you want to accomplish, create a plan, and depending on what that plan is, you get your end result accomplished, and then you get some additional support. So it is like a call, but it's probably, I think it's like 3 or 4 hours where we sit there and it's just me and you do our thing together, and then you get your results. And a lot of times I think that's a great way to jumpstart what you want to do to make sure that you're on track with your goals before you probably invest in a higher level program or an extended amount of time. A lot of you just need a jump start or somebody to reset you, realign you, or to confirm that you're on the right path and to get everything laid out, just like I did with my previous client. So if you're interested in just wanting to learn more, you can comment PEAK, PEAK, in the comments down below, or you can check the description and go to the link to read more about it and then to book a call. I always suggest that you give yourself the gift of a conversation before you be like, oh my gosh, you're going to try to sell me something. I am trying to sell you, like, let you know that I have the service available for you. If I'm giving you this information that I actually want you to execute, I want you to know that I'm available to support you as well. All right, so E stands for energize. Before I get to that, I was talking about your priorities. Your priorities for the day needs to be aligned to your goal that you want to accomplish. A lot of times I see people say, oh, my priorities, they're very low level. And they have nothing to do with their big vision or their goal. And I'm not even talking about like the earth shattering goal. I'm talking about, it could have been a fitness goal, or it could have been a writing goal. It could be an income goal. But if you're not doing the things like, okay, if it's an income goal, how many people am I going to talk to today? How many people am I going to offer my services to? How many products am I going to sell today? That is a priority, right? So you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to manifest more income and just be with myself and then journal about it. No, you got to take some action steps. Same thing with your fitness journey, right? What is the priority? You know, meal prepping, the map out your routines for the week, or actually do your routine, you know. And so things like that. So your priorities, when you write them out in the evening, write them out, then you already can mentally go through your day and hit those top three. Some people may do six, some people may do 12. It's up to you and how your brain works, but at least knock those things out as it relates to your goal. The next one is energize, and it is the energy that fuels your productivity. So I know a lot of people say they don't like to work out in the morning, or a lot of people say they do, but I know a lot of people say like they're up, but they're like, I don't know about working out. This isn't about going through a full 90-minute, 45 minute to 90-minute workout. This is about really putting, you know, getting your body in movement, even if it stretches, you know, some roll ups, some, you know, low impact jumping jacks, maybe where you kick one leg out. It's about really getting your body moving in that circulation. And you'll be surprised, you know, just because you got out of bed and went to the bathroom, brush your teeth and things like that, just because you did that type of movement, that doesn't mean that you're getting that energy back in your body. Like, you know, you really need to, you know, get a rush in your body. And one way I think also that means that you're showing that you're grateful to God for him to give you that movement, wherever that movement comes. If you don't have, you know, feeling in your legs, what can you move? If you don't have feeling in your arms, what can you move? And if you don't have any feeling anywhere, you can still visualize some things, and you got something on your body to move, right? So getting that energy, doing some reps, you know, get the blood circulating, and allowing that to get the blood going, and like I said, energize you for the day, because you function better, and not so much that you have to rely on anything external like coffee or tea. Don't get me wrong, I love my coffee, but I don't want to be dependent on it. I still want to wake up with that boost of energy without being sluggish before I start my day, because then like that energy is going to carry throughout the day. So the next one is align. So we talked about prepare, energize, and now we're talking about align. Being aligned emotionally and mentally to what you want to accomplish for the day. How are you going to ground yourself in your purpose, your calling, your assignment, whatever your goal is, whatever season you're in your life, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. So your big purpose, I believe, it does not change. Just your calling and your assignment may change. So depending on where you are, even if you're still working full time, don't you get into the space where you align with a purpose greater than your job. So no more saying, "Oh, I hate this job. I can't wait to leave," and this and that. No, 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 because there's something that you still related to your big goal or vision that you can accomplish while you're on that job. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's building better interconnected relationships, whatever it is, then you still need to make sure that you are aligned with the purpose for that particular assignment or calling. I believe a lot of you haven't elevated, and I can say us, and I have an example of that, haven't elevated to the level because you're not aligned to what you're supposed to do in that season. When I finished my doctorate degree, I had to go back and work at K-12. I worked at the School of Transformation office, and I had to go visit these different schools. And I will complain so much because like once I got my eyes open with my doctorate degree about how the system really works, coming back to K-12, I was like, oh, all this is jacked up, right? Yeah, this is what y'all need to fix. And although I was right, it was just my approach that was wrong. And I was just, you know, I just had a horrible attitude. I didn't want to be there. Then I finally was like, I want to be a professor now, and I couldn't be one, and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until I was like, yo, chick, while you are here, this is what I need you to do. Get your attitude together. Understand that I have you here for a reason and a purpose, and this is why I want you here. When I got still, shut my mouth, and was like, okay, God, I'm back into submission, other doors start opening up. But this wasn't about, oh, let me get together so I can get out of here. I didn't realize how many people I had impacted while I was there, and inspire people to, you know, go after their higher degrees or change jobs or whatever it was. So many people were coming to tell me that they were inspired and motivated by, you know, a lot of the conversations we had. And then so I was like, oh, that's why I was here. And it wasn't until I completed that assignment, got into an alignment with it, that I was able to elevate to then becoming a college professor. And then I can see the same thing happening now in entrepreneurship. So for you, it is about getting back into alignment. So yeah, you can do your journaling, you can do your meditation, you can sit there and visualize, but you need to do all of those things for your next level as it relates to your goal and the next level you want to go in. Comment down below if that makes sense. I'll have to see them on the replays because I don't know where the comments are, right? I think I can see people, but I can't read the comments. So let me know down below what is resonating with you so far. All right, and K in peak stands for kickstart, which is really about the focus. So take your most important task when tackle your most important task when your mind is sharp. You may have heard the phrase eat the frog first, right? Yeah, eat the frog first or first thing in the morning, do the hardest thing, early in the morning. And I believe that for anybody, even if it's not, you're not a morning person, if you like, you wake up at night, that's still kind of your morning where your mind is like, okay, I am ready to go. What happens if you don't execute, like if it's sales, you don't do a sales call or learn about sales or talk to people. If it's writing your book, you're not writing or you're not practicing the creativity outlet that you want to have, whether it's music, a language, whatever. If you're not connecting with people because you want to build, up your relationships, whatever it is, if you're not doing that thing first, it's not going to get done because everything else in life is going to come at you. You're in control of your morning or your block of time. So this is where you are master of your domain and you get to say so. You don't just let things, just happen. Things happen by happenstance, happenstance, right? So that is the time where you actually have to do some real work, just like when you went to school, just like you are at your job, or if you had some, level of success in your business. What was the thing that kept that when you got the result, you're like, yay, but go back a little bit. What were you doing when you got that result? I'm pretty sure you were laser focused. You did the hard things, you worked out, or you wrote the copy, made the calls, you sent the emails. Those were the hard things you did in the morning or during your quiet time. So that way you felt accomplished. You're like, oh, I did that. Then whatever else happened to throughout the day was a bonus. But you do have to kickstart that focus. Time out for just having these, okay, I'm gonna say it, these soft morning routines or these soft, evening rituals. This is the time where you got to put action things on the calendar, not just checking out, like I got my coffee, I laid out my clothes, or, I sent these emails, even though those emails have nothing to do with your goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm calling a lot of you out because I had to call myself out. Like, okay, you're in here doing these like Canva presentations when you could be reaching out to clients. That's how I got my intensive client, reaching out to clients and letting them know that you are here to support them. You all talked about a goal, or you heard them mention something, you asked if they would like support, and then now you're still in Canva, but you're doing something for a client, right? So you all know what I mean. Like, stop doing the busy work and start doing the work that's going to move the needle forward, because the longer that it takes you to get focused and to get into action, then you're not leading or serving the people that you were created here to lead and serve. Like, your tags are wasted, your talents, gifts, and abilities are wasted. And you all know, if you don't know, my mission is to help bankrupt 1 billion burial plots, to help brilliant people live a life poured out above ground before they go underground. And every day that you don't do some version of the peak formula, then you're just allowing that to get buried deeper and deeper down into the ground. So you do have to have a priority focus time. You do have to do the hard work in the morning or whenever your window allows you, and you have to do the action. You can't just keep consuming things. You can't just keep organizing things. You actually have to do the work. So if you would like support with that, we can do a hot seat. You can comment down below. Or if you can't comment, you can still book a call. Like, don't be scared to book a call and say, you know what, I heard you on the live, the peak formula. This is what's happening. This is my morning routine. I don't know what to do next. And then we can have a quick 20-minute conversation. And I promise you the needle will shift. And then you get to decide if that was enough for you or if you want to continue. So if you can't comment down below, I would still love to book a call with you because I don't want you to be stuck. So don't sit there and be like, I don't know what to do. No, that's a strategy to keep you there. Like, it's okay to be stuck, get stuck. You just can't stay stuck. All right. So we are going to wrap this up. I had so many things to talk to you all about, but one thing I do want to say this because this is a pitfall that I see, and I fell into this one time. So I was like, no, I want to make sure that I don't do this. Sometimes your routines that are so jam packed and is working like a machine, sometimes those are they're not for your next season. They're overcomplicated. And you're probably like, well, I have everything. I'm waking up early. I'm getting all the things together, this, that, and the other, and you're still not getting the results. And that's probably because your routine is overcomplicated for this season of your life. So you may need to go in and revamp that routine, and then it shifts some things around, and then you only shift like one or two things, and then you start doing the change over time. Over time. Don't be so quick to say, I'm gonna throw the whole thing away, because it still works for you. It's still working in a way, but if you're feeling a plateau, then you need to shift some things or take some things out so you can go to your next level. All right, so like I said, if you comment down below, is anybody commenting? Can I see? Or you can just comment peek down below. We can have a conversation offline very quick, or be in the DMs. If you have a question, I will respond, but just comment peek first so I know that what you're talking about. So it's not a random conversation. All right. So as we wrap up, let me know who's going to take that challenge, who's going to implement the peak formula, or the peak formula for their morning routine. Now, you may not do the exact peak formula, but optimizing your morning routine or your block of time, your priority focus time, as it relates to your goal, and make sure it has action steps in it. So I would love to see what you are currently doing. Put it in the comments down below. I do go back and read the comments. You're like, okay, Dr. V, this is what I do. And first, this is what I want you to do. First, tell me a goal that you have. If you're not afraid to share it, you can do it on, in the comments, or you can DM me. When you write the goal, then kind of tell me some of the things that you do in the morning to prepare for that goal. And be honest, like, don't sit here and say that you work 2 hours on your thing every morning when you don't, because it sounds good. That is not going to help you get to where you want to be. So be honest. So again, if you want a conversation, comment peek down below, or if you're like, what, I just want to chat, then write your one of your goals, and then tell me your morning routine or the priority focus time that you have. Like, okay, this is the block of time that I work on what I want to work on. Then, let me know some steps that you do there, and I can give you some feedback. All right. So that is all. Yep. I keep saying so a lot. That is all I have for you all today. Thank you so much for listening and learning with me. And like I said, make sure you comment the word peak down below. And I have 5 sessions available, for the remaining of this month and the early part of next month. I have 5 sessions available if you want to jump into the Brilliant Intensive Power, the Brilliance in Action Power Intensive. I was about to say Power Hour. It's not an hour. It's a little longer than an hour. Let me know down below, or you can go and apply. The information is down below. Go to drvernitaglenn-white.com/intensive to read more about it. I only have 5 slots available. So if I were you, I will go ahead and jump in. If you're not sure, book a call and just ask some clarifying questions and see if that's the right fit for you. And then if you're like, I don't know, you can apply and get on the waiting list, and then see if I still have slots open. And then if you're ready to move forward and I have slots available, then you'll be the first ones I contact. All right. So I will see you all next week. And remember, go out and be remarkable. Until next time, bye.